go live with this because these live videos only stick around for about 24 hours or so. And this is something that I don't want to define me. I don't want people to, use it as a way of like, oh, she's that, blah, blah. People in this world, in this day and age, they're very quick to judge. And lately, as you know, I just made a big post about this whole depression talk and things that are going on, that, a lot of suicide prevention and things of that nature. And so I put out a pretty stern message out there about putting things in perspective. And so I just want to clarify that I am not judging or attacking anybody or taking advantage of a situation and using it so I can post something. I've been through the fire, and I've been through some stuff, and I'm pretty much at least 10 years older than most of you young folks there on Facebook, on social media. And so I can give you some hints and some tips and some coping skills that's gonna kind of put things in perspective. However, you can't be complacent. You have to decide right here, right now, are you ready to fight? Do you feel that you are worth loving? Because you're going to get to that snapping, that breaking point in your life where you had decided that is it. And so you need to decide here and now, this is a real life fight for your life. This emotional pain, this mental pain that you are going through, this situational bad thing that you are being put through the fire, and all these circus hoops that you got to jump through in this roller coaster ride from hell, you need to decide here and now that it is time to open up that birdcage and let yourself free. And you have to be willing to fight and work hard. And so my story, in my 30s, I was going through a divorce that was starting to get a little bit nasty. And not just one of my parents had cancer, both my parents came down sick with cancer. And so in the midst of all this chaos going on in my life, I happened to have one of the worst car accidents, that the one and only big car accident I've ever had. And they're trying to, go after me, my soon-to-be ex-husband, for our house. Just, like I couldn't go through any more BS, right? Dying parents, divorce, now a car accident, and the person that was involved had 4 children by 4 different fathers, and it just was an opportunity to try to come after me and my husband. And so, yeah, talk about stress. And on top of all of that, I lived in a very small town that had very small minds. And I just recently decided I'd had enough of the judgment of the church. And I decided that, my love for God was between me and him, and that I didn't need a church and their approval on my life to define who I was. So there were rumors, going all through the town about how I was a witch. I was into witchcraft, and I had a little bit of a goth look back then, so they immediately thought they knew all about me. I had this long black hair, but I don't have a single tattoo on my body. Not that I'm judging anyone that does, but it's like they were making big deals out of nothing, out of a fashion statement, And so I had this stigma, and it actually caused me to almost not get hired at a job that was a Christian atmosphere at that job. And so, I've gone through some stuff. So let's get on with it. Okay, so number one, you need to make a very serious decision right here, right now. I'm speaking to you. For those of you that are watching this is fate calling. You're not watching this by accident. I felt led all day long. It just kept bugging me in the back of my head that I need to tell my story, that I need to reach out, because there are days in my life too where old memories, my parents passing away, not having I don't have a lot of friends, hardly any friends. My family doesn't really want much to do with me. I choose to live clean and healthy, and I know some of them resent that. And not that they're living dirty or anything like that. It's just, I really take charge of my health and stuff. And so Our side of the family was always kind of judged by them. And so now that they're all gone and I'm the one that's left and they have nothing on me, they can't stand that, you know? And so I've been pretty much ostracized by them. And I finally just had to walk away. You know, I had to do what was healthy. And as painful as it was, I had to make a decision once again in my life. Am I going to fight to live or am I going to die? And so we all go through times where we break. And then we need to rise up like a phoenix. And so over and over again, you know, sometimes some of us, we got to do this on a daily basis. We have to rise up from those ashes and we have to cleanse mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. We have to cleanse and we have to get back on track. So I'm going to give you some hints and some tips of things that I do right there, Johnny, on the spot. There's some days where, yeah, you know, I'm starting to kind of get hormonal at my age. You know, I'm starting to get close to that age where it's like PMS times 5. And it's hard to get out of bed some days. And so I have to decide, am I worth it? Do I love myself? Because let me tell you, if you're depending on a husband to love you, if you're depending on your friends to love you, you're depending on your family to love you, they're going to be the first ones to let you down and break your heart, and they're going to crush your spirit. So you got to decide who, you know, how are you going to love yourself? Because if you don't love yourself, how can you love others? How can you be, you know, each one of us, I believe that we are called to be a holy guardian. We need to be a heavenly host. Some of you are just great at being a good listener. So you need to find your calling. And for me, it's all about being the heavenly host of dance. And I've been a dancer since the age of 5, and I chose not to go mainstream or majorly professional because I just wanted to save myself the stress of all that backstabbing and competition that goes on in that kind of realm. And that way I feel like I can be more of a blessing to others, especially during times like this. So if you think that you have it bad, it can always be worse. And so you have to, you know, number one, remind yourself of that. And then you need to start thinking about the things that you are grateful for, you know. Right on my worst day, where I'm starting to grieve for my family, the loss of this and that. I look at some people that they've got like millions of cars, 2-story house. They've got all the things that I probably will not ever have, and then I look at some other people that they've got all these friends and they're super popular, and it seems like they have every reason in the world to be happy, and yet that is not enough. They're battling depression and they're suicidal and they've battled suicide, and you know, everybody always has that one thing that just it breaks the straw on the camel's back. So you know, when I feel like I have absolutely nothing and I have no one, I start remembering things that I need to be grateful for. And so this is one exercise that you can do, is you need to write down 5 things. And you need to, you know, until you get yourself disciplined enough, you need to physically get a notebook and you need to write it down, okay? So you need to write down 5 things today I am grateful for, and I want you to fill in the blank. This is an exercise that comes from Rhonda Britton. She's a world-renowned life coach. She's had TV shows, radio shows, and she's a world-renowned author. And some of her teachings have really changed my life, because back when I was going through all that, the divorce, the parents having cancer, the car wreck, and, you know, losing everything, and I didn't think I was going to make it, and the stigma of having everyone in a small town hate you for no reason, yeah, it gets to be a bit much. And so I had to decide. And so right now I want you to make a decision. I'm just going to take a moment, and I want you to say in your head, today I choose to love myself above all others. And I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay to put yourself first, and it's okay to say I'm worth it. And it's okay to say I love myself. And so that's going to be the second exercise. After you write down 5 things in the morning, and 5 things at night. Today, I am grateful for, and I want you to fill in the blanks. I want you to go into the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. It's okay to say, I love you. You look good today. You know, I like my hair. I have really pretty eyes. You know, find some things that you can compliment yourself for, okay? The next set of exercises that we're going to do, and I'm doing this like sort of in reverse order because I'm trying to like get to the most simple thing, okay? But we're gonna get the hard stuff out of the way first. So the second exercise is, again, get out your notebook, and I want you to write down 5 things in the morning that you can acknowledge yourself for. Today, I acknowledge myself for, and then I want you to fill in the blank. And it's important that you write out this whole sentence 5 times, each and every time. My life coach, back when I needed it, and let's face it, folks, no one's perfect. If you say that, oh, I've never had an issue, you're a liar. Okay, we all, you know, at one point or time or another, we've needed a mentor and a teacher in our lives because my parents died when I was really young and I didn't have anyone. And anyways, to make a long story short, I'm just grateful that I had the life coach that gave me. The difference between life coaching and counseling and therapists is that life coaches actually give you hands-on skills that you can use, and counselors just want you to whine and cry about the issue and stay stuck in the problem because they think that by whining and getting it all off your chest and out of your system, that's going to somehow help you to magically resolve your problems yourself. It's like, well, then what do I need you for? It's that's crazy. Okay, yes, I said the C word. Okay, so getting back to the exercise, you can be your own coach, okay? So today, I acknowledge myself for, and write it out, the whole thing 5 times, because the mind, and when your eyes see, it's going to start to click, and it's going to start to sink in, and it's going to become a habit, and it's going to be automatic when those hard times hit. Oh yes, today, I can love myself. I acknowledge myself for taking a shower because I flossed and brushed my teeth. Today, I acknowledge myself for driving the speed limit, and I resisted the urge to flip that person off that pulled out in front of me. Today, I acknowledge myself for doing the dishes early. Today, I acknowledge myself for keeping my cool with my coworkers. Today, I acknowledge myself for not mentioning it when somebody irritated me and just letting it slide. I was the bigger person. So you can get very creative in the things that you want to acknowledge yourself for, and that's a really great exercise. So the last and the third exercise is simply language cleanup. There's a lot of negative self-talk, and you guys got to get rid of it. And so I just went over this exercise. I don't know if they were really paying attention or not. And so I was telling them there's certain words you need to eliminate from your vocabulary. And you need to catch yourself every time you do it. And the number 1 word is butt. Big old hairy butts. Think of a big old hairy gorilla butt, or maybe a nasty cigarette butt. Eliminate the word butt. Like what but which sounds better? Oh, I would love to come over. Can we do it on Friday instead? Don't say I would love to come over, but. Okay, get rid of the butt word. Butt's an ugly word. Nobody wants to see big hairy butts, okay? So let's just get rid of that. Another one is I can't. Why don't you try replacing the negative word can't with I don't know how to. Can you teach me? Or I'm not available, how about this day? Or I would love to do that. Let's plan it for this day instead. Try to get rid of the word can't, okay? Another one that I hear all the time is, oh, I should have done that, or I would have. Let's eliminate those 2 words too, because they're very negative. So, oh, I should have done that. This is what you say. You say, oh, you know what? Next time I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That's what you say. So eliminate the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Don't need them. Bye-bye. The next thing on the list is, instead of saying I have to, that's really negative, isn't it? Okay, so instead of saying I have to, why don't you get excited about your life and say I get to go to that piano lesson today. I get to go to work today. I have a job and I'm grateful for it. Today I get to brush my teeth. Thank God I have 2 working hands that work normally. I have 2 working feet that can walk. There's a lot of things that you get to do, and it's a privilege. So stop griping, okay, about the things that you have to do, and start thinking with the mindset of, this is what I get to do today. Hallelujah. Okay? So anyways, again, I would just want to clarify that while I'm shaking my head at some of the stuff that I've been hearing lately and stuff going on, and just the general negativity, I just want to put a flip on it and tell you that out of every negative situation, you can always find a positive. And know that when I do my videos on YouTube, I am preaching to myself, number one. I am reminding myself of my own skills, my own coping skills, life coaching skills, and things I've always talked to myself, number one, before I start preaching at other people or giving my 2 bits of advice. However, I feel like I've lived quite a while, and so I just want to share that bit of knowledge, because you know what? When I was growing up, I didn't have anyone. My parents died when I was like 29, 30. And, at the most crucial time of your life, that's when you really, really step into adulthood, is when you hit the big 3-0. 20s, they always kind of say, well, she's a young adult, she's still learning, and people take it easy on you, which is true, they do. And so you don't get taught all the things and all the life skills and the things that you probably need later on in life. And so I had to find some mentors. I had to find some people that weren't going to judge me, and that weren't going to, say mean things or call me names, tell me that I was stupid, that kind of stuff. And so I highly encourage you guys, go to my YouTube channel. There's some really great, mind-body connection bits of advice. If you can even glean just a second of it, it might change your life. You never know. And so every day that I doubt, why am I here? Every day that I feel like, maybe, I shouldn't even be here anymore. I don't have this, I don't have that. I have to pull myself up by the bootstraps, and I have to fight for my life. And so, it's a struggle. Life is a struggle for all of us. You're not alone. Even the best of us, we have our down days. And so it's going to be okay. And I want to encourage you guys to rewind this video back and take some notes, because this is a live shoot and it's only going to be available for a very short time. And maybe if I'm asked to do certain segments of what I talked about, I'll consider doing an actual hard video for the YouTube channel. But anyways, I just wish you all well. Don't get down. Choose happiness, choose health, choose wellness, and reach out. There are several heavenly hosts out there that will listen to you when you need an ear, that can help give you the hard skills that you're going to need to survive this thing called life. And so reach out to us. Drop your comments and your questions below, and I'll try to get to them and answer them. And I just want to send you all blessings and my love to you, and my acceptance, and just my good energy. Just thank you for watching and tuning in, and namaste.